Welcome back, St. Marians. In ICSC Class 10 Civics, second part of the video, Power and Functions of the Parliament, we are going to discuss today electoral power, judicial power, and constitutional power with executive powers of Parliament. So, in this series, first topic we are going to discuss judicial power. So, first topic in judicial power is impeachment of the president. Before explaining the topic, I would like to tell what are judicial powers. Means power in the hand of parliament, which can be used judicially or as a judiciary body. Parliament can use that powers. That powers are known as judicial powers. So, first case we are going to discuss in this series, that is impeachment of president. What is impeachment of president? It means removal of president if president is involved in misbehavior, misconduct, or violation of constitution. So in that case, that either house, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha can frame the charges against the president, and it will be investigated. And after investigation, if it is found guilty, then by two-third majority, the bill can be passed against the president, and president may be impeached from his post, and same procedure will be there in both houses. And if both houses are passing that impeachment bill by two-third majority, then president can be removed from the post. So the next topic we are going to discuss today is removal of the judges. So in the same way as president is removed, that judges of high court, judges of supreme court, election commission of India, as well as comptroller and attorney auditor general of India can be removed if they are found guilty or violating their provisions according to constitution. So it is very easy to understand. The same procedure will be followed in case of CAG, in case of election commission of India, in case of in case of high court judges, in case of supreme court judges. So this is very easy to understand, same procedure which was there for president. No need to explain again. Next we are going to discuss about punishment. So parliament is having right to punish if any member is obstructing that activities of parliament. You have listened sometime that speaker has dismissed that member for 1 day, 2 day, or 1 hour, 2 hour. So if that severe obstructing is there, then presiding officer or speaker of Lok Sabha can dismiss that membership permanently. So one example is given in a book of 1961, when parliament ridiculated that editor of that newspaper, and he has lost the membership of the parliament. So it may be there, parliament is having right to punish in his own way. So parliament can punish to member of the parliament also in case of obstructing that activities of the house. So next topic we are going to discuss electoral function. So electoral function, very easy to understand. We have to keep in mind president, vice president, speaker, and deputy speaker. So in case of president, both the houses of the union parliament as well as state legislature are responsible for the election, and whatever the values of the vote and whatever the procedure of electoral college for election of president, that we'll discuss in another chapter. But today we have to understand only that Parliament of India along with state legislatures are responsible for election of president, and both the houses are responsible for election of vice president. In the same way, speaker of Lok Sabha is elected by a member of speaker of Lok Sabha, and deputy speaker is also elected by the member of Lok Sabha, and in case of Rajya Sabha also the same. So in case of election of president, vice president, speaker of Lok Sabha, speaker of Rajya Sabha, or vice deputy chairman of Lok Sabha, deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha, union parliament is completely responsible. So next topic we can discuss amendment of the constitution. So students, first of all we should know that what is amendment of the constitution. Amendment means to improve or to change something which was not there before. So this amendment was there in the constitution, that if parliament want to improve something or to add something in the constitution, they can add by two-third majority in both the houses. So what does it mean? It means that if government want to improvise, government want to change something in the constitution, then they can change by two-third majority in both the houses. Means if bill will pass in one house, then it will go to second house and it may be passed by the both houses. Then amendment will be there in the constitution, or that will be considered as law. So next one, control over executive, means parliament is having control over executive in different way. We have discussed already about no confidence motion, censure motion, adjournment motion. So in this topic we will discuss that how that parliament can control executive by these motions. So one by one we are going to explain. First one is interpellation. Interpellation or questionnaire. I have already explained what is questionnaire. So through the questionnaire, that Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha both are having that capacity to ask a question from every minister or council of minister. So they are individually or collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha because they are the representative of the Lok Sabha. But Rajya Sabha is having the special right to call any minister for answer of any question or to discuss any matter of his portfolio. So in that case, if they are find some guilty or they have done something wrong or they went against the constitution, then there may be a vote of no confidence motion, but it will be done after the interpellation. Means first of all that information, if an house want any information from any department, then they can call any minister in Rajya Sabha, and the Lok Sabha itself is having that member of representative, so they are answerable or accountable to the Lok Sabha also. So we can say so by asking questions about any matter of the portfolio of the minister, parliament is having the right. And if it is found something misviolation or something violation of constitution or misbehavior or misconduct, then censure motion or vote of no confidence motion may be also conducted by the houses. So interpellation means questionnaire, and by calling that attention notices and by asking the questions from different ministers, we can have that control over the executive. Next topic we are going to discuss, that is vote of no confidence. As we have already discussed in previous topic or previous video, vote of no confidence. So again I am telling you that if a council of minister is not doing something well, or if any particular task is not being done well by that council of minister, collectively they are responsible for the houses. So in Lok Sabha they can bring the no confidence motion or vote of no confidence with at least 50 members in the favor of vote of no confidence, and if it is passed, then whole ministry has to resign. So it is a effective check on the government. Then if they are doing something wrong, then opposition may bring the vote of no confidence, and if it is passed, then government may resign or prime minister has to resign. So the next motion I am going to discuss, adjournment motion, how they are controlling by the adjournment motion. So in case of death of several person, I have discussed already, and by any accident, by communal rights, if any important event held in that country, at the same time that in house we are having some matter of public importance, so that may be keep aside and those matters may be discussed. So adjournment motion may bring by the speaker, and opposition or that opposition parties may demand for discussion for something else or which is held immediately in the country, and for by immediate effect speaker can bring the adjournment motion. So we can say so that we can omit any matter which is going on in the house, and we can take the another matter of importance, and government has to answer on that particular event, or they have to tell the what steps they have taken to normalize the situation. So next topic, other motion of censure. So censure motion is very easy to understand. We have discussed about collective responsibility. in that whole ministry is responsible for the act of a minister or a portfolio. But in censor motion, only individual will responsible for his portfolio, and if he or she is found guilty for any misconduct or misbehavior or violation of constitution, then he or she has to resign by the censor motion. If it is passed against any minister, then particular minister has to resign. So what is the difference between censor and no confidence motion? In vote of no confidence or no confidence motion, if it is passed, then whole ministry has to resign, and in censor motion, only particular minister has to resign if it is passed in the house against any minister. Or this motion can be used for rejection of bill also, and this bill can be used for removing of any minister from the portfolio. So next topic we are going to discuss about monetary control. So matter of public interest can be bring in the house by cut motion in the budget. We can have the some cut in the demands or some cut in the prices. Suppose that petrol price are very high, or it hike is there in the petrol price, then opposition may bring cut motion so that the price of that petrol may cut by the parliament. In the same way, this may be there for other taxes, or this may be there for that welfare of that country. Opposition may bring cut motion during the budget time. Next one, exclusive powers of Rajya Sabha. Before discussing this one, I want to discuss some other power of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha or Union Parliament. First one, that Parliament is having right to decide the boundaries of the states. Means they can create new states, or they can reshuffle that boundaries of the states anytime. It is the right of the Parliament. So we have listened about Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, Telangana and Chhattisgarh. These states were made by Parliament of India after reshuffling the boundaries of other states. So one more thing is there, that power, and it makes that Parliament may establish that common high courts for two or more states. Means Parliament can say for sharing of one high court to more than one states. As well as before Uttarakhand High Court was not established, it was sharing UP High Court and many other Chandigarh High Court, Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh, they are sharing like this. So Parliament can make the law for this sharing also, High Court sharing. And one more thing, that composition of Supreme Court can be also changed by Parliament, and judges, number of judges can be resettled or reshuffle by the Parliament. For example, previously we were having 25 judges plus one Chief Justice. Now we are having one Chief Justice plus 30 judges in Supreme Court. So it is also in the hand of Parliament. Now we are going to discuss about exclusive powers of Rajya Sabha. Means power which are in the hand of Rajya Sabha but not in the hand of Lok Sabha. So we are going to discuss first point, that according to article number 249, Rajya Sabha may be having the right to change in the state matters by 2/3 majority. Means that in state list, Rajya Sabha is having authority to change by 2/3 majority in the house, while Lok Sabha is not having this matter. So any change in the state list can be done only by the Rajya Sabha. Why it is so? You have to remember, because Rajya Sabha is known as the house of the states. So that's why that Rajya Sabha can change in the state list through the 2/3 majority in the house, and new laws may be made by Rajya Sabha for the states in the state list. Second one, special power enjoyed by Rajya Sabha is that all India services for Public Service Commission. So national, it may be originated it may be created only in Rajya Sabha, not in Lok Sabha. Why? Because the Rajya Sabha is upper house and they are having right and they are known as the House of States. So one more thing is there that if Lok Sabha is dissolved before the declaration of National Assembly, in that case Rajya Sabha will work as that sole de facto, means all in all, or all the power will be there in the hand of Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha cannot do anything else. Why? Because it is dissolved already. So Rajya Sabha itself work as the parliament in case of national emergency. And one more thing is there that in case of state emergencies, Rajya Sabha can make that laws for particular states, and in normal conditions also Rajya Sabha is having right to make the new laws in the state list. So that's why Rajya Sabha is special from Rajya Sabha. Now let us discuss what special powers Lok Sabha is having which Rajya Sabha is not having. So there are also 3 points. First one, that no confidence motion or vote of no confidence can be bring only in Lok Sabha. It is not possible in case of Rajya Sabha. Why it is not possible in case of Rajya Sabha? Because Lok Sabha is known as House of Representatives, and ministers are there from Lok Sabha only, and they are responsible to the House of Representative. So if no confidence motion or vote of no confidence is passed in Lok Sabha, then whole council of ministers has to resign. That is not possible in case of Rajya Sabha. Means Rajya Sabha cannot originate vote of no confidence against the government. That is the right only in the hand of Lok Sabha. So it is more effective than Rajya Sabha in this case. Second bill, that second matter is that money bills can be originate only in Lok Sabha, and Lok Sabha is superior in that case with Rajya Sabha because Rajya Sabha has to give with or without amendment within 14 days. They cannot hold the bill more than 14 days, and Lok Sabha is not bound to authorized that recommendation of the Lok Sabha. Means Lok Sabha is not bound to go through that recommendation given by the Rajya Sabha. So in that case Lok Sabha is superior to Rajya Sabha. And the third case which we are going to discuss, very important, in case of deadlock. Means Lok Sabha has passed any bill, ordinary bill, and Rajya Sabha is not going to pass. Rajya Sabha is having Rajya Sabha want to hold that bill for long time, so that is known as deadlock. Means one house is willing to pass the bill and second house is willing to hold the bill. So in that case what will happen? Speaker can call a joint session, and that is known as deadlock condition. And in that by majority vote will decide that who will proceed over the bill. So in that case number of members are more in Lok Sabha. So Lok Sabha is having dominant power in case of deadlock. So if Lok Sabha want to pass any bill, in case Rajya Sabha is holding and not giving back, then it can be